Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It has felt like such a long time since I just sat down, filmed a video, and chatted with you guys. So there will be so many interruptions and noises in this video coming from my kid, coming from the dog. I had the doors wide open today, so there's the dog just yipping outside. There's gonna be traffic noises, all the things. But if I don't do this video imperfectly, it's just not gonna happen today. So gonna do my best. Today's video is gonna be, I'm gonna answer some of your questions and also assumptions about myself. So I haven't done one of these in such a long time. I always feel like I have a severe vulnerability hangover after I do one of these videos. Do you know what that is? Anyways, I'm gonna do it anyways because it's fun to chat with you guys and I enjoy these kind of videos myself. So if you're new here, my name is Raquel. I mostly post content on motherhood, homemaking, and just like camping tips, outdoor stuff. And this summer I'm hoping to do a lot of like recipes and just, yeah, mostly just take my camera along with me wherever I go and vlog what I'm up to. So if you're new here, welcome, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, I'd love if you would do so. Let's get cracking. So the first question coming in hot here is gentle parenting or traditional disciplinary measures. Really struggling with my 16-month here. So I will say, like, depends what you mean by gentle parenting. What I think gentle parenting as is like you don't really tell the child no that much. You basically let the child make a lot of the decisions, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but maybe the whole style of like, you know, everybody gets an award, even if you like totally lost the game, you still get something. Just that whole thing of, you know, you let your child coach you along, and I don't know, I just don't really got too much time for that. I feel like if the child does not learn authority and what's right and what's wrong, how are they going to be when they grow up? I feel like society as a whole like proves that that's a terrible method of child training, just because I think a lot of kids these days don't have a lot of respect for other people or other people's property. Just go out and like riot whenever they feel like it, burn things. I'm just not into it. I know that's an extreme method of how it went wrong maybe, but I still think that, I don't know. I am very much like, you need to be gentle with your children, but firm and consistent because you're the parent. And also it's biblical, like you're the one in charge and they need to learn to honor their parents, love each other, and treat other people with respect. I'm old-fashioned. Like I don't know. I think that children need to learn to obey, and it will benefit them so much more in life than just letting them do what they want. But maybe I don't have the gentle parenting like definition even down pat. So, will you be homeschooling your daughter? Probably not. I do love a lot of the, like, I'm seeing more and more homeschooling stuff that I'm like, I could have really loved that as a kid. Just the different creativity, like creative stuff, like some of the books are just so pretty, and I don't know, I feel like, and I just love some of the hands-on things that you learn at home. But I would love for my child to be able to go to a wonderful Christian private school, which is what we're planning so far. I know it's terribly expensive, but to me it's a worthwhile investment if it's a really good school. Like, I would be terribly careful about the school, and I would not send my child to a public school just because I don't agree with a lot of the stuff they teach at public schools, whether it's about gender stuff or just a lot of the things. I'm just like, not public school. But if it's a good Christian private school where I agree with what they teach, then that's what I'm hoping to do, because that's what I went to. I went to school like that, and I just feel like I would have missed out so much on school programs or friendships, even like peer pressure. Sometimes peer pressure is good, and just my memories I've made with like my friends at school. It's just too good, and I want my child to experience that as well. So unless there's just simply not a good option for Christian school, we will not be homeschooling. Another question is, do I speak German? I do not speak German. So many people think that I'm Russian Mennonite because I came from Belize. I was born and raised in Belize. I'm not Russian Mennonite at all. I do not speak any German besides a few words that I won't mention on here because they're not appropriate. I worked with like a Russian Mennonite group, like at a clinic, for about 2 years, I think. And so I picked up a little, but not anything. Yeah, I don't speak German. Sorry. Oh, another question along that line is, how long has your family lived in Belize? And my mom and dad went down there, I think, early 90s maybe, like 90, 91, somewhere like that, and they are still living down there. So they went down for 1 year as missionaries and ended up loving it and staying. So that's their home now, like totally home. So half of my family lives in Belize and half of them were really spread out in the US. So, and an assumption about me that's really kind and super untrue is your house always smells fresh and clean. Maybe like laundry detergent. That's hilarious, especially right now. No. Oh, how I wish it smelled fresh and clean all the time. That would just be amazing. I think it used to smell fresh and clean back before I had children, and like was super particular about my housekeeping skills or my housekeeping. Way more particular than I am now. But thank you. That's not true. Another one is, what are baby names you love but won't be using? Oh man. Let me think. Probably George. I love the name George. Liam. There's one name that I can't even say. That's why we're not having it. I think it's Adelaide. It's for girl. Or I think it's Adelaide. But that's the reason we're not ever having it, because I'm not even sure how to say it, and it like it's spelled funny, but I just love how it looks on paper. So I'll try to put this up on the board here. I like the name Jack or Jackson. I like the name Goldie for a little girl. Come on, how cute is that? Marigold. But Troy's like, that's the ugliest flower. Marigold. Such ugly little flowers. I kind of agree. But I think the name Goldie is kind of cute, but these are all names we probably will not be using. Another question is, where do I buy my clothes? I do not sew my clothes. I'm just a horrendous seamstress. It makes me sob and makes me very angry, so I don't sew. But I sometimes have like one of my friends, she's a seamstress, she sews a few dresses for me every once in a while, and I buy the rest of mine on Amazon. I use to thrift a lot of my clothes, but I don't know, I just find like I'd rather have fewer clothes, but ones I really love. But I will thrift like sweaters and stuff like that. Let me think. Do I have a favorite homemaking tip? A favorite homemaking tip I have is to, whenever you possibly can, if you make a meal that can freeze well, make the triple batch, double batch. Like if it's a meal that you really love, like cook once, eat 3 times. Like whether it's pancake batter or anything, especially breakfast things, but lasagna, like don't just make one lasagna or one batch of enchiladas. Like make enough for multiple meals, and man, on those hard days, you're gonna be so happy that you did that. Do we own our home, or are we in our forever home? We do own our home. I love our place. I love the land that we have, and I would love it to be our forever home. It's really small, so we'd have to expand it at some point. But we live so close to a road that I just told Troy, I just do not know how we can possibly live here forever. Like, my heart's just in my chest every time I think of like being outside in the summertime and having to continually watch my little girl. Like, it just makes me feel kind of sick thinking of it. Like, and I know we can build a fence, but even that, like, there's just no guarantees, and there's no guarantees wherever you live. There could be other things, but I would love it to be our forever home. I can just see us growing old here. I'm hoping in the future we can move to, I don't care even how the house looks, as far as I just want land for my children to be able to play and not worry about a road or a pond or anything like that. Do I care what people think of me? I do care what people think of me, but probably not as much as some people. I wouldn't consider myself like a highly sensitive person. In some areas I am maybe, but not like, in general I just kind of like live my life. I'm not really like always worried about what people think of me or how I look or anything like that. I probably sometimes need to care a little more what people think about me, maybe. I don't know. I just find that I can't, like if I truly cared about what people think about me or thought about me, I would not be doing YouTube, because it takes an extreme amount of guts to be on YouTube and just like really kind of exposing yourself or your life or whatever. Sometimes I hate that. I want to crawl into a deep dark hole, and other times I just don't really care at all. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it depends on my hormones or my mood. I don't know what it depends on. Sugar. What is one of my favorite hosting tips? And what things do I like to have on hand for quick last minute hosting? You guys, I'm the worst at last minute hosting. I stress about last minute hosting much more than I do if I have like a week to think about it. So this is I'm not the right person to ask for sure. I feel like I'm not great at last minute hospitality. It depends who it is. If I'm super familiar with them, yeah. But if it's, I don't know. I need to work on that. So no tips from my end, I don't think. Oh, you're saying hi to everybody? Okay. I know some Mennonites and Amish vote and some do not. What camp do you fall in? So I would fall under the camp of someone that does not vote and has never voted. Although, have I been tempted to vote? Yes, I absolutely have been tempted to vote. I do not have a strong conviction against it. And I think that, yeah, it is up to your personal conviction. I know some people, like some friends of ours, do vote, and it's because they feel strongly that they need to. I believe in the two kingdom concept where Jesus says, you know, my kingdom is not of this world, and that is the stance I take. But I will post a video down below where it's a debate. It's a great debate. It's kind of slow at first, I will say that, but it's against one guy is saying, you know, two Christians, and one is saying why we should vote. Absolutely, you know, it's our duty to vote. There are horrible, you know, laws that are going to be passed if one person gets in. And then the other guy is saying, as Christian, why we must, like, it's not our duty to vote, and why we need to just, like, stay out of it, because Jesus's kingdom is not of this world. So I encourage you to watch that video, whether you vote or not. If you want to grow in your conviction about voting, watch it. I know everybody falls on a different line with this. So quickly going to interrupt this video with a note from our sponsor, which is Skillshare. I'm sure you guys are familiar by now if you watch my channel, but if you do not know, Skillshare is an online learning community, thousands of online classes, anything that you can think of, from learning to play guitar or another instrument, learning a new language, how to make bar soaps or candles, or how to watercolor. Basically, it's really cool if you're a homeschooled parent because they have so many classes that your teens can learn, whether it's business, starting a new Etsy shop, how to design florals, which is a class that I have enjoyed in the past. What I took was called Centerpiece Design, creating a stunning table arrangement. So many amazing classes. Or maybe you would like to learn wedding photography or videography, or want to focus on your business this year. Skillshare might be just for you. Thousands of online classes, like I said. If you click the link below, you can get 1 month of Skillshare for free for the first 1,000 of you to click on the link and take advantage of that. Check it out, and thank you so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. Now, back to the video. Hey. Oh my goodness. So many hugs. She gives the best hugs, and they're so tight sometimes. Hi. Love you. And another question was about the head covering and just like different questions about it. And I have a strong conviction for the head covering. I didn't used to always, but after like studying and digging into it more, I realized that the passage in 1 Corinthians 11, it's applicable for us biblical women today. It's not just a culture thing. And I think it's a beautiful thing. It's not a burden, and I'm happy to honor God in this way. It's not a big sacrifice for me. I understand that, like, if you did not grow up with this concept of covering your head for praying and prophesying, like it says in 1 Corinthians, it can be very difficult to do. If you grow a conviction for it and you're like the only one in your church that does it, or your community, and you can feel so odd or awkward, I just applaud you for that. I think that that is a beautiful thing, even if it's so super hard for you. I think that it is biblical and applicable for us today. I will post some more videos about it where it's interesting. The one man that is Anabaptist, he goes through every controversial thing about the head covering. Is it a cultural thing? Is the long hair supposed to be our covering? A lot of Christians believe that long hair is supposed to be our covering. He just goes through each aspect of it. And like, is it for us today, truly? Is it actually, or is it just something they did in Corinth, you know? And he goes through each thing and he talks about it very carefully, and it's very interesting. And after watching those videos, I am also like, okay, that makes so much more sense to me. And so I will post those videos down below. They're very long, so just kind of watch them slowly. And then I'll also post another video by Dale Partridge that talks about the head covering from a different angle. But it's interesting. He's not an Anabaptist, and so it's a different perspective, but I also believe it's like wonderful. And whether you always wear something in your head, or just when you like worship publicly, I know a lot of women just cover their heads in public worship. I totally respect that. Sometimes I think that Mennonites can overcomplicate it. I think that it doesn't have to be super complicated. My personal conviction is that it should be a piece of like a fabric or whatever that somebody a woman from Ghana or somebody from Carlisle, Pennsylvania can pick up at a store and wear. Like, it doesn't have to be this super complicated thing. I know a lot of Mennonite churches have like really their covering, whether it's like a cap style or veil, it's just down to the nitty gritty on the details of how it should be made and worn. I'm just not really into that much. I just think that it should be something, like, it's not a big deal, but I just think that it should be something that every woman, like in any country, can apply and doesn't have to be super overwhelming and complicated. Does that make sense? Like, just a piece of fabric and tie it around their heads or however they want to wear it. That's my personal little tidbit there with that. Can you say hi? The last two questions are, how is my health, and Summer needs, not really a question, it's like a statement. Summer needs a sibling. Yes, she does. And the really fun news I have to share is that I am expecting baby number 2. We're so excited, you guys. It's just been such an answer to prayer. And so yeah, I am 13 weeks along. So I feel like there's a light at the end of this tunnel with, like, I've been so extremely sick this pregnancy, and just I feel like my brain is in such a fog. So much so that when I thought about this video, I'm like, Lord, you're gonna have to see me through this because I can hardly think. Like, my brain is just completely a mush. It's just, I see, like, I can't even, like, yeah, I'm just, if you've been pregnant, you know what it's like to be so tired and in this complete brain fog. So I'm so thankful that I'm almost done with my first trimester. It's been rough last couple weeks, if I'm honest, but you know what, I'm just so thankful, so terribly thankful for a new life and that I get to do this all over again. And yeah, it's just so exciting. I've always really wanted my first 2 to be close together. Like, that's just something that I've always thought would be really neat. And I'm gonna have 2 under 2, so pray for me. Pray for me. Anyways, I'm so excited to share this news with y'all. I'll post a little video of when I told Troy, just a little phone footage, so the footage is not great. But it was fun to surprise him. Anyways, I hope you guys have such a great day. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. As I just sit here and ramble, it just feels good to talk to somebody. I feel like I have not been out of the house much at all. My child is playing on this musical thing now, so excuse the noise. Besides the Belize video, I've only filmed 1 video since I'm pregnant. Just not. I know some people can just power through their throwing up, but I can't. I'm a weakling. I can't do it. I feel so sick. So hopefully this summer I can put out some really fun content for you guys. But I'm also just like living one day at a time. Not even a day at a time. Half an hour at a time at this point. So we'll see what we got. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! We'll give it to Daddy.
What do you have? No! Are you serious? You're lying! Yes!
She has no idea what's going on.
You're lying.
Summer can be a big sister.
Give me a yay! Dad to do.